checking some new technology, make sure it's all working, potentially going live on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time. A bit crazy for me. So I'm just going to make sure it's all working. Once it is, I'm going to kick off because once a month I want to do a protrusive guidance. So answering a question from the community, and if I don't know the answer, you bet I'm going to make it into a group function. But this one, I could help out. It was Nani on the Protrusive app, which I'm so excited. Everyone's getting involved. On the community section, she asked a really great question. But before we delve into that, just want to make sure that this is actually live. So if anyone out there is watching, lovely. I think we're live. I had a little notification. So again, I'm still kind of getting used to the grips of going live and stuff. So if anyone's listening, anyone's watching, just type something. I've got some chats coming up and whatnot. So type something, say hello. Let me know if you can hear me all right. And eventually let me know if you can see me okay as well. So I'm going to give it around about 30 more seconds. I'm seeing a number. Yeah, numbers are creeping up. Yeah, perfect. Right. How exciting, guys. So welcome to a Protrusive Guidance. I'm going to make sure my phone's on silent so that we don't get bothered. It's not going to be a major long one, quite a quick and snappy one, answering Nani's question here, which is, and again, Nani, thank you so much for this question. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So your name, it says Facebook user, but your name doesn't come up. So thank you so much for chatting. Right. So Nani said, any hot tips on temporization, specifically the battle between making it retentive so they don't come back? Obviously, we always want that. I hate hearing from our patients that they lost their temporary. It bothers me more than it should. And it shouldn't bother us because we're only human and temporaries are temporary, but it still annoys me, right? So that being retentive enough, but also making it so retentive that it's uncleansable. So straight away, and then therefore, if you make it uncleansable, you're going to get bleeding and inflammation. So straight away, I'm going to say to everyone, and Nani, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to say that, hey, YouTube as well. Hello, YouTube. Good, it's working. I'm going to say, TP brushing is a must. So 95% of my temporaries, I will definitely make sure that they can TP because I want everything really, really cleansable. So for me, it's not an option to make it overly retentive by not making it cleansable. So temporary has to be cleansable. So the question really is, how can we make it cleansable yet retentive at the same time? So that's really the question, I think. And then the second part of it is when you're actually removing temporaries, and we'll talk about that. So I think the video I'm about to show you is going to tackle both scenarios. So here we are. So here's how I tend to remove temporaries. So here's an onlay I did, and I just get artery forceps and I grip onto it. Let me show it to you again. Grip onto it. There we are. Squeeze with the artery forceps of the mosquitoes, and that just gets rid of it. So I cemented my onlay with a zinc polycarboxylate cement in that case. So don't use Tempbond. Rule number one, don't use Tempbond for unretentive onlays. It's only going to end in tears. Use something like zinc polycarboxylate cement. So that's an easy one to do basically, and try and have some degree of resistance form. I'm not a big fan of tabletops basically, but try and have some sort of resistance form. Have a point contact, but don't have excursions. So I don't have excursions on my temporaries. This is just me trying in the onlay. So that's a lesson there. Again, just showing again when it comes to removing the temporaries, yes, I still have to sometimes drill temporaries, but with onlays, it's just a matter of squeezing with the artery forceps of the mosquito. So squeeze, 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 and here's some linked ones for a quadrant I was doing of onlays, and it comes away. So by using zinc polycarboxylate cement, it's good. Now, the time where I might have to drill a temporary off is a tooth like this, lower left second molar. This was a really tough case. This is one of those cases where the lower molar is absolutely destroyed into dentine. I'll just play that again. Wrong video. Actually, no, that will come straight after this. So let me describe that scenario. The lower molar is destroyed by the upper molar, and then you have to increase the height of the lower molar, and then you have to sacrifice the upper molar. So I cover this in the upcoming occlusion course we're making, OBAB, so it's kind of content recording for that. But essentially, to compensate for the short clinical crown, I put in grooves and slots, just like that. Now, obviously, this will be a metal-based crown, not a zirconia, not ceramic, because there's too many grooves and retentive features here. And to be fair, this was a teacher who went away, and I'm going to just replay that video, basically. She came to me in August and she said, the next time I'm going to come and see you is going to be in October for our half-term holidays. So all those months she was away, about 2.5 months. And so I wanted to make sure that their temporary sticks, and it did. And so by putting those locks in, and I use zinc polycarboxylate cement, you bet that I was not able to remove the temporaries. No way, Jose. So what I had to do in her case was drill it off. So A, it was cleansable. B, I use zinc polycarboxylate cement. C, I use slots and grooves where I've got short clinical crowns. And then to show you my protocol for removing retentive temporaries without damaging the prep underneath. I'm just going to read the questions. Thank you. It's written in Arabic, your name. God bless you. Thanks for messaging in. Says, would you mind talking about low and high torque bracket and what cases you can use them? Look, I've got a diploma in orthodontics, but I'm GDP. I can't answer that. I don't know about that kind of stuff. A great person to follow is Farouk Ahmed, Dr. Farouk Ahmed. He's brilliant. He's got an Ortho in Summary podcast. You should check him out. He's fantastic. So ortho-based questions to him, restorative occlusion to me, splints, that kind of stuff, I'll do that. But I can't answer about brackets and torque and stuff. So here's some bridges. And so Nani and everyone, what I'd say is when I'm sectioning off bisacral temporaries or even acrylic temporaries if I need to, and the whole, I try with a squeezy, but in these cases, it was a lot of core. And so what I've done once before on this patient a few years ago is I squeeze, and the whole tooth broke away. Now, it was actually an unrestorable tooth. It was herodontics. I shouldn't have even tried or bothered. But in this case, I used a Tempond because I knew that my crown was retentive enough. It was very, very retentive. So I used Tempond in this case. But I still was not able to remove it easily with my mosquitoes. So I was sectioning it. And because the Tempond is white in color, I'm able to just stop shy of actually perforating through it. That way, if you stop shy of it and you leave a thin layer of bisacral, you won't damage the prep, right? And so then you can get your flat plastic and twist or something stiffer than a flat plastic, a Mitchell's or something, spoon end of a Mitchell's. And then that last little bit, I'm going to get the artery forceps. Let me move out the way so you can see. Yeah, the artery forceps again, and just squeeze. These are vertical bridges that I placed. And sometimes if you are getting bleeding, now this patient did not do a good job with our oral hygiene at all. I was really cross with her. But anyway, I had to fit that day. And so the way I got nice moisture control was by stuffing PTFE in the sulcus, which I did. And there we are a few weeks later, nice tissues. And that's her bridge. So let's revisit the question, how we managed to answer anything. So temporization, they must be cleansible. They must be cleansible. And sometimes you still get a patient who just sucks at oral hygiene, but they must be cleansible. Don't use Tempond for onlays. Use zinc polycarboxylate cement. And then you can easily clean that off with an ultrasonic. And if you've got a very retentive tooth and it's for a short time, like a couple of weeks, then yes, use Tempond, which will make it easier for you to remove. But if you're still struggling and you have to section the temporary, and you don't want to damage the prep underneath, then don't go all the way through the temporary. Leave a thin layer of bisacral, twist, and then you can use that trick with the mosquito forceps. So I hope that was helpful. So that question was sent in by Nani on the community section of the app. I'd love for you guys to check out the app. Even if you just joined the free version, you can download the episodes to your device, which is pretty cool. So if you've got like choppy internet, you've got the full video and the audio and that kind of stuff. So check it out if you haven't already. It's on Apple Store, Play Store. I've got lots of premium content. I've got a whole series, pretty much an online course, which I'm going to include as in the subscription, which is VertiPrep for Plonkers. I'm going to trademark that, okay? VertiPrep for Plonkers. I love the name. Okay, so Ali, thanks for your question, buddy. If you have a really retentive prep, can you mix Tempond with Vaseline to make the cement weaker? Absolutely. I do that sometimes as well. That's a great suggestion, Ali. I would do that, and I have done that, and that's absolutely fine. If you want to make your zinc polycarboxylate cement weaker, which I don't tend to do very often, but I've heard you can mix a bit of water. A few drops of water will make your zinc polycarboxylate cement a little bit weaker. So maybe you want all the sealing properties of that cement, but you don't want to make it too strong. You mix a few drops of water in your zinc polycarboxylate cement. And you read that in Schillingberg. There we are. Schillingberg, the original prosthodontic Bible. So guys, this is the end of my stream. I'm amazed at the response. Thanks so much. Please also do not open up the embrasures, and this can lead to blunting of the papilla that can really spoil a case. Okay, on Facebook, are you sure you said do not open up the embrasures? Do you mean open up the embrasures? Because I would actually disagree what you wrote there. I would actually say you should open up the embrasures, because if you compress the embrasure space and you compress the papilla, yes, it will be ugly, you'll lose a papilla, and then you're relying on it. Yes, okay, fine. I thought so. I knew you meant that. I just wanted to clarify, because in case anyone's reading, thank you so much. Again, your name comes up as Facebook user. I'll be able to see later who it was, but thanks for your contribution. So open up the embrasures, a fantastic tip as well. Nani, thanks again for that question. I'll be back again next month. I'm going to Disney World next week. You'll still hear from me, don't worry. But my team will be taking over most of the podcasts and support and CPD certificates, etc. But send me your best wishes. I'm desperate for a holiday, and thanks again for joining. So thank you so much, Hong. Check it out from Singapore. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, check out the rest of this. I'm going to stop and you can just replay the whole thing anyway. So thanks, guys.